we've got a $700 billion gap at the moment for financing nature. Could you say a little bit, and engaging a little bit with what Hani has said earlier about nature-based solutions and whether or not we have visibility of the financing gap here in Malaysia and how we are planning to close that gap?
Sure. So, just for clarification, when I mentioned nature-based solutions, I don't mean carbon credits. Just to clarify. So, nature-based solutions, not one-to-one equal to conservation, activities that protect, restore, or sustainably manage ecosystems, be it natural or modified. It has to solve societal challenges, and it has to bring biodiversity net gain, right? So there are a few, I would say, criteria to what can constitute a nature-based solutions. And in WWF Malaysia, we try to place or put narrative on our projects very strategically so that it can attract philanthropic funding, and we try to move towards private funding as well, and I will get into that. So one of the ways that one of our program in Sabah has done is that we try to package it on a landscape. So it's not just funding one activity or one specific program, but we package it 3 in 1. So basically, when you finance our specific project, you're basically financing protection, you're financing restoration, and you're financing sustainable production, which is palm oil in Sabah. So we package it in such a way that, because we know corporates more and more, they will have very strategic needs or very strategic wants to invest in projects which will have strategic importance to them. And what this means is that because corporates, with the upcoming of TNFD, Task Force for Financial Related Disclosures, they are required to kind of assess their own operational nature risk. They are required to assess their own direct impacts as well as indirect impact, their scope 3, which is within their supply chain. And the next strategy for us is to position our project in such a way that when you invest in our project, you are actually investing for resilience to your own business. So we want to make it a win-win situation, right? So you invest in our project, we're actually building resilience for the community, because nature-based solution is just a natural solution for climate adaptation. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's a natural defense. You will have drought incoming, you don't cut down trees, because tree keeps water, and water keeps our kind of climate cool, and it provides water during drought season, right? You're worried about coastal erosion, you don't cut down mangroves, you restore it. So we do have a specific kind of strategic need for it, but we want to kind of narrate our project in such a way that we make it a win for potential donors, be it philanthropic or private funders as well. And moving into what Bunny said about CBO, community-based organizations, so we talk about protect, we talk about restoration, and we know that there are very limited funding options for this. So there are upcoming market-based instruments, I would say. Payment for ecosystem services is one of them, and in fact, we actually attempted to do that in one of the states in Peninsula Malaysia. We did a whole study on the forest complex in one of the states, but the barrier remains there's no political willingness to fund for it, because there will always be a trade-off between, okay, I protect forests, but what would be that, in terms of loss of revenue, in terms of timber for me. So there's always that, I would say, barrier or issue, which is why in WWF we try to be very creative in terms of how we narrate our project and what is it doing for you. So when we go into community-based enterprises, we try to support community-based enterprises who livelihoods are dependent on ecosystem, and by growing these enterprises, they are actually helping to sustainably manage these ecosystems. And this is where we want private financing to come in. First, we'll come in with grant. We want to kind of support them. We try to support them, with technical assistance to grow them to a stage where they are investment ready, so that private financing can come in. I'll stop here. I think Karen wants to say.
Thank you. It's a bit of a challenge to moderate four speakers relative to the earlier session with 3. So I think we're going to open up questions on the floor, and if anyone who has questions can make their way to the mics that are along the floor, that would be great. And while we wait for them, I'm going to take an opportunity to ask Shazwan a question. So some of the work you do at Ms.